Greetings, my dear truth seekers. On May 3, 2020, in Venezuela, the United States tried to implement a plan for a military coup. However, unfortunately for Washington, things didn't go according to plan. The head of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Venezuela officially announced the successful repulsion of an attempt of a foreign invasion of the country. In the early morning, a group of armed men on boats quietly tried to break into the city of La Guaira of the Venezuelan state of Vargas. Thanks to the coordinated and professional actions of the Venezuelan army and the Special Operations Forces of Venezuela, the foreign invasion of the country was successfully repelled, and the enemy retreated with losses. Trophies and captives fell into the hands of the Venezuelan army. My friends, and here from this place, the most interesting events began. Technically, the assaulters turned out to be combatants of one of the Colombian drug cartels. However, a GPS navigator from the captured boat showed that the boats were sent from the point where the militants' training camp is located, which was created and supervised by the CIA. Moreover, the captives themselves confirmed that in this camp, they had taken training courses in reconnaissance and sabotage operations. Their mission was to destroy prominent political figures and members of the Maduro government, with the expectation that this would destabilize the situation in Venezuela and overthrow Maduro himself. At the moment, the government of Colombia and the United States deny all charges. However, there were two U.S. citizens among the captives. The first captive, Aaron Berry, turned out to be an official agent of the Drug Enforcement Administration of the U.S. Department of Justice, and the second captive, Luke Denman, turned out to be a senior member of the U.S. Secret Service and the personal bodyguard of President Donald Trump. Moreover, he also turned out to be the deputy operation leader Roberto Colino, who had deserted from the Venezuelan National Army and was an active member of the United States intelligence. By the way, Robert Colino was killed during detention. According to the Venezuelan government, the captured U.S. citizens have admitted everything and demand their immediate transfer to the U.S. authorities. My friends, this incident will certainly do much harm to Donald Trump on the eve of the presidential election. All these years, Donald Trump tried to build a reputation of a decisive fighter and an unrivaled winner, but the failure of the CIA in Venezuela showed once again to the world that the United States completely lost all its power. It is also worth noting that after the failure in Venezuela, both the leader of the Venezuelan opposition, Juan Guaido, and U.S. President Donald Trump claim that they are not involved in organizing a military coup. They claim this was an initiative of local performers. It is oblivious that both Juan Guaido and Donald Trump are trying to get away with this. However, the facts leaked to the press suggest otherwise. It was proved that one of the American mercenaries detained in Venezuela, Luke Denman, for a long time was a senior member of the U.S. Secret Service and was the personal bodyguard of Donald Trump. This is evidenced by videos and photos taken during a public event in November 2018 in North Carolina, in which the American President Donald Trump took part. Also, President of the United States Donald Trump, in every possible way denies that he had contacts with security company Silvercorp. However, the same photos taken at a public event in North Carolina suggest otherwise. On these photos, you can see how an American military veteran who leads a Florida-based security company called Silvercorp, Jordan Goudreau, ensures the safety of Donald Trump at an event in October 2018 in North Carolina. The head of security company Silvercorp, Jordan Goudreau, was to provide the coup participants with weapons, as well as train the members of the shock groups, for which two employees of his company were involved. He stated this directly in an interview with the American media. However, he blames the self-proclaimed president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido, for failure, who did not fully transfer the money to carry out the operation, which was one of the reasons for its failure. The self-proclaimed president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido, will not be able to deny his involvement in the attempted coup, because there is his signature under a contract on $212 million with the security company Silvercorp. Jordan Goudreau allowed journalists to take a photo of this document. According to the head of security company Silvercorp, 64 people participated in Operation Gideon, which had a goal for the overthrow of the Venezuelan government. Meanwhile, Venezuelan special services detained 21 conspirators and eliminated 8 saboteurs. At the moment, 35 militants are still walking free. For their capture involved 40,000 troops of the National Guard of Venezuela. Meanwhile, the United States continues to aggressively deny its involvement in the coup attempt. On this occasion, the head of the Pentagon, Mark Esper, made a statement. The United States government has nothing to do with what happened in Venezuela over the past few days, said U.S. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper. The American media also are trying to justify the U.S. leadership by vehemently broadcasting that it was a private initiative, and the government with the CIA was not involved in this. Thus, official Washington is trying to disown terrorist activities, because the forceful overthrow of the government of any state is a terrorist attack. As an excuse for the failure in Venezuela, some publications state that agents of Communist Cuba were introduced into the camp of the conspirators, who revealed the preparations for the coup and transmitted information to the Venezuelan special services. The Russian military, who are now in Venezuela, was a reason for the failure of the conspirators. Meanwhile, the counter-terrorist operation continues in Venezuela. Another group of militants was caught. Venezuelan special forces seized weapons, ammunition, and military equipment. My friends, what is happening now suggests that the CIA faced the biggest failure of the last decades. CIA was not even able to protect the country's top leadership from unnecessary noise. This is one of the most epic failures of U.S. intelligence services in recent decades, which seriously undermine their authority.